what motivates you to follow the technology?
One thing which I could just say about this whole, to learn from a lot of people. Of course, being an engineer, we know social engineering, we know reverse engineering.
How important technology plays a role in a startup?
In every area of work, not just a startup, but for any area of work, technology plays a very important role.
My question will be, how is our entrepreneur's life?
You work 24/7. For an entrepreneur, of course, he has to be active, alert all the times.
3 tools a startup can use.
Can give you an alternative which works like Microsoft Office, but it is free for life. Before going to any investor, to find your first 50 customers, first 30 customers, try your own funds and try it. Stay updated, because whatever you are learning in your academics, maybe it is a lot much behind than what is happening every day.
Do you think it is a threat to humanity?
As I said, for me, my priority is like I become...
So hello viewers, welcome to a brand new episode of Sign Up Startup, a podcast which is specifically designed for startups and where we invite guests from the startup ecosystem to share their insights, where you will learn a lot. So like you know that technology is something where all the startups are running by. If you don't have technology, then you don't have like anything. All the highly funded business, if you can say, they are driven by technology. And technology is the most important thing in your business. So today we have someone who has a very good grasp over this technology. He is a technologist by himself and he is a recognized speaker, also a published author in this domain. You are going to have a great lessons and learn a great learning from him. So introducing Mr. Shubham Dumbre. So hi Shubham, welcome to our podcast. And how was your feeling today?
Thank you so much, Ashish, first of all, for having me on the podcast. And the feeling, of course, is fantastic. It is really good to discuss about technology, because nowadays we breathe technology, we live with technology, and technology is an undefined analogy which actually simplifies a lot of challenges, a lot of problems. So it would be, I look forward to this wonderful discussion where we explore different dimensions of technology and understand how we could utilize in our regular use case.
So Shubham, just to start our discussion, our viewers will definitely love to know about your background, like how you reached to this stage.
Yeah, so I can just start with my academic background at the very first. So initially, like I completed my Bachelor's of Engineering, and during that time I was exposed to like open source and free software resources. So that's where during my internships and all, I thought like this field has a lot of potential to explore, and I started researching on free software's open source resources. So my book, one of my books, that is Let's Make IT Simple, it has 2,500 plus smart IT resources which actually work out upon open source and free softwares.
Okay.
So it took me like around 6-7 years to figure out which resources are actually useful for entrepreneurs, for every one of us. And I've just tried to combine and create a library out of it. So academically, like after engineering, I started with my MBA from Narsi Monji. So I finished my MBA in IT, and currently I'm pursuing my doctorate into marketing from Rushford Business School, Switzerland. So that's about my academic background. In parallel, like if you talk about my professional background, so I've worked with different clients like from various countries, right, from Australia, Russia, Ukraine, then Europe, and now in US. So trying to garner different experiences from various working cultures. And yeah, of course, like I'm trying something on my own as well, since like my college times only, I had tried to build a community, kind of a tribe where we could all work together on different projects by the name deltatheinnovators. So yeah, like it's been 5 years for it now. I started it on my birthday actually.
Okay.
So now every year when there's my birthday, I just like have it like maybe a tribe anniversary or something of that sort. And yeah, like the journey has been fantastic. One thing which I could just say about this whole time shift, or probably this overall experience, was like to learn from a lot of people. Like I have met so many people with different experiences, with different exposures, with different age groups, that you tend to understand what a person is actually about, what he or she is valuing, what he or she is looking forward to work on with you. So it's really interesting to explore that side of it. Talking about my background additionally, like I am also a published author, as you mentioned. So I had my band in my college times initially. So one of my book is again a poetry, by the name Decoding Zindagi. And you can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts and all. So that's like about the poetry and book, like you say, hobby side of it. And professionally, of course, as I said, like I made my passion my profession. My technology being my passion, I just tried to blend into it and made it my profession. So that's about it.
सो या टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर बाद में आएंगे. आपने अभी बोला कि डिकोडिंग जिंदगी. सो एनी 2 lines or 4 lines if you can just recite.
Sure, like maybe we can take one paragraph from a poetry. So there's one poetry by the name Khubsurti.
Okay.
So I think like it's a short poetry. Maybe we can take the complete segment only. So it says, मैंने कायनात से पूछा खूबसूरती क्या है कहाँ है. मैंने कायनात से पूछा खूबसूरती क्या है कहाँ है. वादों में इरादों में या जज्बातों में. वादों में इरादों में या जज्बातों में. लफ्ज़ों में अल्फाजों में या यादों में. लफ्ज़ों में अल्फाजों में या यादों में. मोहब्बत में नफ़रत में या जुनूनियत में. मोहब्बत में नफ़रत में या जुनूनियत में. इबादत में शहादत में या गनीमियत में. अभी साथ में सुनिए. मैंने कायनात से पूछा खूबसूरती क्या है कहाँ है. वादों में इरादों में या जज्बातों में. लफ्ज़ों में अल्फाजों में या यादों में. मोहब्बत में नफ़रत में या जुनूनियत में. इबादत में शहादत में या गनीमियत में. कायनात कुछ न बोली. कायनात कुछ न बोली. हवा की बाहों में पत्तों संग वो डोली. और महसूस हुआ जैसे कुछ कहना चाह रही है वो सरसराती टहनियाँ. वो प्यारी सी तितलियाँ उन बहती लहरों संग जिनको नहीं था गुमान. सब कुछ बहा ले जाने का बिन कुछ बोले सब कुछ कह जाने का.
क्या बात है.
तो ऐसे कुछ है लिखावट.
That was a great I think something like अभी तक मैंने जितने भी पॉडकास्ट किए this kind of experience was not there, but yeah, that was a very good lines. And I will definitely tell our viewers to check his book. You can see like how good his poetry is. Shubham, now we will come to a very standard questions. Specifically, I ask when I meet with any engineer that आजकल हम ऐसा देखते हैं that after engineer most of the grads are going to banks. That is a very big thing. And otherwise they are doing MBA and they follow whatever MBA students do. You from a engineer background, what motivates you to follow the technology?
Yeah, so like as I said, like I initially explored a lot of competitions. Like when I started in my college days, I used to explore the tech fest at IIT or maybe Technovanza and other fests like which colleges generally had, and I used to participate in these festivals. So probably there was some sort of energy or synergy which actually like helped me to understand that you can try technology in any area of life, right? From healthcare to education to like anything that you want. If technology is used in the correct way, it can actually help, it can actually enable people to solve a lot many problems. So this is the understanding that I developed from the very initial footsteps in technology in engineering. And then probably while building small projects like mini projects or capstone projects, the idea of trying to solve a bigger problem than what I am understanding today or probably solving today is what actually gave me a path towards developing more and more solutions. So whenever we used to like probably participate in any such competitions, of course, not every time we won. We learned a lot many times. We got feedback that probably you could have done this in a better way. But those experiences, those feedbacks is something that actually helped us to build a better understanding and then probably try even in a better way next time. And probably this was also one good thing about our experience.
So when you have talked so many things about technology, then definitely our viewers will like to know how important technology plays a role in a startup.
Yeah, so for a startup generally, when you say the word startup itself, it says start up, right? You have to start from like ground zero. So right from building processes to right from defining roles and taking it out to team members, then managing those team members, trying to figure out how you can actually optimize their efficiencies in every area of work, not just a startup, but for any area of work, technology plays a very important role. Let's specifically discuss about startups now. For startup, when you have to initially get started, you probably need email client. For example, Google Workspace or Microsoft or anything.
Yeah.
So you initially need an email client. That's where you can start your communication with your technology.
Yes.
Once you have that, now let's say you want to create a logo for your startup. You again need tools like Adobe or Canva or anything of that sort. So of course you need design tools. Then you need to market it. Then you go to social media apps. Again, that's what technology is about. You start with your marketing activities on like probably run some digital marketing campaigns. That's where technology comes into picture. Then you want to probably edit some files. Again, you go to editing tools like Blender or like DaVinci Resolve or anything of that sort. So if you see in every area for accounts, for example, you must be using Tally or like Zoho Books or something. So you see in every area of work, technology is involved. Initially, we used to maintain those registers for like writing down so many books, but nowadays that's not the case. If you even go to banks and all, nowadays whenever you like just take out money from your ATM, it just quickly gives you a message. So this is all technology, and that's how technology has enabled us to simplify our life, to make us more reliant on technology for a better life. So that's what I feel like technology is involved in all areas of a startup. Even in management, like you must have heard of content management systems, CMS, or maybe ERP systems. So sales teams, for example, they use tools like HubSpot. So this is very important for like customer support, customer engagement, customer management. So in every area of a startup, you would find a lot many dimensions where technology is actually used.
So we are talking about technology and engineers, and there is a perception in the society that someone is doing commerce, then uska fix रहता है that CA करेगा, CS करेगा, and then he will do accounts. Same in arts, तो उनका मतलब ऐसा है कि ये तो IAS and administration line में वो जाएंगे या फिर कुछ दूसरा ही करेंगे. But for engineering, there is a perception that like वो कुछ भी करते हैं. Like, so do you have an opinion on this specific line that engineering करने के बाद मतलब they don't have any idea, like कुछ भी करते. What will be your opinion on that?
So I find this in a positive way actually, because engineers are good for everything. You take them to accounts, they will learn accounts and get it done. You take them for management, they will probably manage things well and get it done. Of course, there's a learning curve in every area of work, but engineers have this good quality of going through that learning process. I feel that is a beautiful thing that I see in engineers specifically. I'm not saying that other students are not capable of doing it. They are of course capable of doing it, but probably engineers have probably put in a lot much of effort in those assignments that they have to do, a lot much of effort in the final year projects that they have to do, and again one extra year other than the rest of the degrees. So this is what has made engineers so strong in terms of their mindset that no matter what the challenge is, we will just face it and get it done. So I feel that is why engineers are good for so many verticals, so many aspects, so many tasks. And everybody, of course, it depends on person to person whether they are really implementing what they are learning. I feel engineers get more challenges in terms of implementing such kind of learnings, and that's why they do it.
So चलो अब इतना इंजीनियरिंग के बात कर ही रहे हैं, तो हम सब ने एक बहुत फेमस मूवी देखा है 3 Idiots. तो उसमें से कौन सा कैरेक्टर के साथ आप अपने आप को बहुत ज़्यादा रिजेंबल करते हो?
I won't say I resemble to any character, but I really get inspired by the character Rancho, of course, who everyone relates to. Because that guy actually gave us the flavor of life. And of course, Rajkumar Hirani, the director, had composed him in such a good manner that anyone, like even if you are not in a mood to laugh, still that after looking at that person or character, you just like, okay, give out every stress and just laugh. So that energy that Rancho had, that kind of enthusiasm that Rancho had, that emotion that Rancho gave us, it actually inspired so many people to become engineers. And you can see one example in front of you.
So you have interacted with many startups also. Okay, so my question will be, how is our entrepreneur's life in normal? Like, how you will describe this thing?
See, when you say about an employee works 9 to 5 maybe, or 10 to 6, whatever the time frame is.
Yeah.
If you have your own business or you are an entrepreneur specifically, you work 24/7.
Correct.
This is what the society says. If you are a smart entrepreneur, you don't need to work 24/7. You can manage your work 24/7 smartly. That is what I think. If you have good amount of resources in terms of people, in terms of like funds and all, and you know how to strike a balance between like monetary resources and human resources, I don't think it is a difficult task to of course it is a challenging role, but it is not some rocket science to actually manage your business. Being a small business owner, when you say you are growing probably 100 plus, 500 plus employee company, then of course you need good managers. When you are a small business, maybe like 20, 30 people, you know everyone individually.
Yeah.
But when you are a 500 plus employee company, it is not practically possible to know everyone so well, right?
Yes.
Even you don't have that amount of time.
Yes.
So that's where an entrepreneur has to decide on which resources he has to rely upon. Maybe those 10 managers who are going to interact with the rest of the 30 team members for every vertical.
Yeah.
This is what will matter. So I personally feel for an entrepreneur, of course, he has to be active, alert all the times, whatever are the market conditions, whatever the industry trends are changing. If there is a change in terms of the currency, like value and everything, like an entrepreneur has to be like smart enough to see what is happening around and then take decisions that would benefit the organization and also the society as a whole. That's like my overall perspective on this.
But I will still try to differ with your opinion because my idol is Elon Musk.
Okay.
And you take any big leaders in this kind of field who are entrepreneurs who have started from scratch. I think their life started from when they wake up and the everything closes when they sleep. So I believe that is a kind of entrepreneur's life. Even if they know that they are not there, still the business will run.
Yeah.
But still, that urge is there that I want to be there. So I think it's very few entrepreneurs will be there who know perfectly balance their work and life. So do you think that it is necessary? Because my point of view is if you are balancing everything from the very beginning, then you will not reach to that scale where the people have reached and proven. So what will be on this take? Like how important your work-life balance should be in your professional growth?
Your answer might differ from me. My answer says like, I want to succeed in every area of my life. Probably if you see the definition of your successful life, my successful definition says like I want to have a good family life. I want to have a very good career. I want to try something of my own. Then I want to try experimental things, learn a lot. So these are my areas of learnings. These are my definitions of success, that I have a very good family.
Yeah.
I have some purpose of my life. For you, it can be, probably, of course, you respect your family, but for you, it is more goal-oriented that I want to reach some revenue or something of that sort. So your answer might differ than mine, but I feel like, why are you alive? If you answer that, you would find that you need to succeed in most of these areas of life. If you just run behind money, still if you know about Alexander's last 3 wishes, are you
I'm not
familiar with it?
I'm not.
So the great Alexander, when he died, he had last 3 wishes. The very first was, when I die, bring the best doctors in the world and ask them to carry my body so that the world could understand that even after winning the world, I could not take anything with me. Second thing, whatever I have earned in my whole life journey, scatter it around on the ground and like take my body through it so that people understand that even after earning so many jewels, so many like ornaments and all, I am not able to take anything with me. Last thing, he said, keep my hands open when I die and so that the world understands that tu kya lekar aaya aur kya lekar jayega. So, of course, for you, your perspective says like you have to run behind some target. For me, it is like I have to run behind various targets, but my ultimate goal is a successful life.
We have you, so we will like to know at least 3 tools which can, which is productive on site or which a startup can use.
Okay, so I would like to ask you, Ashish, like you must be using Microsoft Office.
Yes.
And you must be using Google Sheets or Google Docs, right? Maybe if you're using
in Microsoft, we use that Excel
now
sheet.
You are spending some money on that license, right?
Yeah.
Instead of that, I can give you an alternative which works like Microsoft Office, but it is free for life.
Free for life. Okay.
Maybe any guesses?
And WPS?
No, WPS actually is a freemium version. It asks you to upgrade, but there is a version which will not ask you to upgrade. It will just ask you to update it when
it's just of the other company you are taking, not of Microsoft.
No.
Okay, no. Then I have only used Microsoft and Google.
All right. So the name is LibreOffice.
LibreOffice. Okay.
Yes. So if you just check LibreOffice, it has similar functionalities to Microsoft Office. LibreOffice comes in the open source area of work. Like there are some softwares which are termed as open source softwares, and there are which are proprietary ones. Microsoft Office, or like you take any other like paid tool, those come in proprietary softwares. But there is another way of looking at softwares that is known by the name open source.
Okay.
And there's another way to look, the third way to look at it, known as free softwares.
Okay.
So these are different areas. So if you go to open source clan, so there is a software by the name LibreOffice, in which you would find the same kind of Word. If you're using Microsoft Word, you would find Writer there. Writer does similar functionality to Word.
Okay.
If you are using Microsoft PowerPoint here, it will have slides or something like presentation. That is the title name there.
Okay.
If you're using Excel here, it will have sheets. That's the only difference. Rest, everything related to like formats or fonts and all, you can upload and get it done. And this is free for life. It has regular community to work upon, and like it gets updates regularly. It is secure. It is safe to use. But probably like because Microsoft markets it well, you know just about Microsoft. I'm not saying Microsoft is bad. Of course, Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the world, and they are updating the products regularly. But if let's say you are a startup who is not able to afford Microsoft licenses, probably you can use this and get started.
And for emails then, because email is a very necessity.
Yeah, so for email, now you must be using Google Workspace, or you must be using some email client, right? Outlook and all. Again, now for this, you have to pay something. But now at the initial level, maybe you are lacking funds. How about Zoho Mail? Have you heard of Zoho Mail?
Yes, but I think it charges.
It charges
a
something.
very lower cost.
Yes, at a lower cost. Again, Zoho initially when we were signing up, it gave us 5 free mails forever. That it had a wonderful plan. So for mails as well, there will be some charge, of course, because they have to maintain your hosting account and like you have to connect your domain and all that stuff. But you can look for a little lesser costly alternatives, less expensive alternatives. Of course, the functionalities won't be as great as Google or Microsoft, but your work will be sorted. Or else you can also try self-hosting your website, and like you get free emails with that. For example, hostinger.com provides you that kind of approach. So you can try that as well.
Right.
I'll ask you a couple of questions. So for video editing, what tools are you familiar with?
We use Filmora and Premiere Pro.
So all these are paid tools?
Yes.
I'll give you a couple of tools which are free. One is Blender. Okay, it is used for animation and graphics. If you see its case studies, those are fantastic. It is used for animation and all. You can use DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is a tool which is also paid, and it also has a community version. The community version is free to use. You can use it for editing stuff.
Okay.
You can use OpenShot editor for video editing.
OpenShot, I have heard about the OpenShot and
nowadays Microsoft has also launched its editing tool by the name Clipchamp. It has a paid version, of course, but to edit in 4K. But till 1080p, it gives you free access to it. It is a cloud-based kind of approach. And the tool is installed on a desktop, and you can use it for free.
So this is quite interesting because see, even in my laptop, Clipchamp is there, but I have never whenever I go there, it asks to pay something. So I have never then deep dive that whether I can use it for free or not. But like you mentioned, that there are many things.
To be honest, Clipchamp is so good. You just type your text, it will give you voice audio for it. It can dub for you. If you write the whole script and ask Clipchamp to maybe record it in different voice samples, just like Siri, you can read it all. Probably you can record the same and create whatever. Maybe you're creating some video or something. You can add those as subtitle or voiceover or something. It's that good, Clipchamp, and it does it all for free.
I will ask then one or two more areas,
sure.
Like photo editing. Because we normally do in Canva.
Okay.
And I know there is a free version and paid version. So we basically use the paid version. So any software or tool which is similar to the Canva paid version.
Instead of Canva, how about Adobe Photoshop's paid version? Alternative to Adobe Photoshop or Adobe other complex tools.
So because those are complex to use.
No, but I'll give you an easy tool to use, but which has functionalities even to the level of Adobe.
Okay.
Have you heard of GIMP? GNO Image Manipulation Program.
GIMP, no.
That's the tool.
So there are a lot of valuable tools, guys, which you can see from this podcast. I think you should check out his book where I think how many...
it has 2,500 such resources.
2,500 resources are there which you can completely use for free.
So I'll just give a disclaimer. Not all resources are free now because companies keep on changing their policies. But most of them are free. I've tried to test each and every resource myself by in my area of research, and I've tried to combine it together. So definitely it will be a help. And you can also check out how to use any tool or software videos on my YouTube channels. So it is handy.
So now coming to a very hot topic for every startup, every founder, every VC, that is AI. So what is your take on AI? Do you think it is a threat to humanity?
No, I would like to quote Akash Ambani. I recently had attended, I think 6 months ago, I attended one of the live sessions by Mr. Akash Ambani.
Thought you attended his ceremony.
No. So Akash Ambani had come to IIT Bombay to deliver a session at TechFest.
Okay.
So at that point, he quoted it very well. He said AI is not just artificial intelligence. AI is all inclusive. If you say AI, it's all inclusive. And of course, it will have security threats. It will have a lot of challenges. It will have implementation issues. Many people will be worried whether their jobs will go or not. Now, robots and all those areas will start to flourish as soon as AI will take its power. We have seen these fantasies like initially in movies like Robot and Ravan and all. But of course, like when AI will actually start to do things, for example, ChatGPT, generative AI. When we talk about generative AI is really good. It gives you a lot of responses, but it does not have the human touch. Right? If you ask ChatGPT to probably help you create content for your family function, like you want to give a speech for your family or something at an event, it might give you a good script, but it won't have that emotion that you are looking for. You can, of course, give it a lot of prompts and fine tune it. Give him like probably I like to speak like less, then I like to probably add poetry to it. It will give you a fine-tuned response as well. But that emotion, that devotion into your content, that is what ChatGPT lacks. There is a lot of research work and like work going on in that area as well to make it so best. Of course, like you have also seen deep fake videos nowadays, which rotate a lot many times on social media. So it is a threat. And that time we had we also read it now and then on social media, like jobs are like the job cuts and all. In some areas, of course, AI will affect, but it will also create a lot of new opportunities. If I have to talk, for example, nowadays, if you implement AI softwares in your company, you need an AI manager. Initially, like I think someone in the interview had said when calculators were launched, initially, I think it was Narayan Murthy. So at that time, he had said like, when calculators were launched, everyone was worried like what will happen to mathematicians? What will happen to accounts departments? Way back in 1970s, 80s. So at that time, he had said a very beautiful line. He said like, it's okay if this thing has come. It will be an enabler. It will accelerate the process, but it won't replace accountants or like finance people completely. It can be an enabler. Similarly, ChatGPT can be an enabler for us. Maybe to find out details about any particular event in the history or find out some details about any product. You can use ChatGPT. It will give you better results compared to like you go to Google search and try to find out 10 different results. But making your relevant information out of it, getting the best out of it is your choice. Similar to what you use with calculators. Nowadays, everybody has calculators on their fingertips, but still like you use it as an enabler. You don't have it all the time, right? You still know maths. So that's about it. So similarly, basic fundamentals will remain. There will be some modifications. There will be some additions to what you currently know with AI. That's why I feel like my book as well, like let's make IT simple. When I wrote it, there was no ChatGPT at that point of time. But now with AI, I feel like every company is trying to like gain some sort of AI functionality, add some sort of AI functionality into their own spectrum. And maybe that is one area that I'm trying to currently deep dive into, trying to research more upon. Maybe guys, stay tuned on this podcast. I would like to just say that I'm working on that side to explore more paradigms of it. And once I have something constructive, I'll definitely share it with all of you.
We are talking about AI, and when initially AI come, at that point of time, what happens, लोगों को लगा कि जो manual jobs and जो repetitive jobs है वो पहले जाएंगे, बाद में उसका और revolution होगा. But हम अभी देख रहे हैं that creative jobs ज़्यादा जा रहे हैं. Means the innovation is happening on the creative side. Now you can create virtual influencer जो आके Instagram में पैसा भी कमा रहा है. Then you can imagine or like prompt something and you can make videos. Of course, like you mentioned that human touch नहीं है. But still, I think over the period of time, maybe 3 to 4 years, it will like match the human thinking level. So then, for the students or for the people who are in college or at least from school, if anyone is watching the show, then which kind of skill they should start to learn to combat this AI threat?
I feel they should start learning how to use AI initially, and how can they ethically make use of it. Learning to use AI is one thing, but ethically making use of it is another. Right now, there are no regulations, not very strong rules and regulations around AI, and a lot of misuse happens.
Yeah.
Right? Today, maybe you can deepfake someone's video and manipulate things, but somewhere down the line, anyone else can do it for you as well. So that thought, that understanding needs to be developed, that there has to be an AI boundary. Like, of course, you can, like there will be some secret agencies or like government agencies which will have access even beyond that. But rest others should be in an AI safety circle, how we call the ozone layer for us. Similarly, there can be a ozone layer, maybe a AI layer for us, where we can say like this is the safe filter where we can play with AI, we can explore different case studies, use cases. That is what I feel like should be done in terms of AI. Talking about jobs and all, like, yeah, there will be a lot of changes in the upcoming times in terms of jobs, but there won't be complete unemployment until and unless you stop learning. If you keep on learning, if you keep on updating yourself, if you are ready to upgrade with the updates that AI is giving regularly, you will update yourself for sure. You will get roles for sure. You will start something of your own maybe, or get into a role that you dream of. That is all possible. Like, I'll give you one good example. Initially, people used to create their resumes on Microsoft Word. Nowadays, they use a lot of AI tools to create their resume. Why is it? Because they know like there will be a ATS system that will track their like resume, take out data from it, and then probably it will go to the recruiter, right? The decision maker. So AI has enabled in a way like resume, same thing, resume, the product is the same, but the way to create it has got changed. And there are so many career coaches nowadays who are helping students, who are helping like learners to create resumes using those AI tools.
What will be your one piece of advice to the founders or the people who are just starting their business, or maybe in initial 3 to 6 months in their business?
First of all, I would like to request them that please see if you are really going to make money. I see this general thought process in individuals nowadays that they want to be a founder of a company, they want to have that lavish lifestyle. Because of maybe shows like Shark Tank, they get more and more inspiration to go in those areas. It's not bad, to be honest. If you're really focused, if you can really do it, prove it. Bring down your 100 customers, bring down your 50 customers, see how much revenue you are making. You should have some default timeline to assess whether you are really able to make money on the table. If you're just hiring resources, or if you're just taking money from the investors but are not able to do anything, ultimately it is something that is going to hurt you in the long time. So my one piece of advice is like, test yourself whenever you feel like you are ready. Test yourself in the market, see if you're really able to make it work. If it is not working out, don't get disheartened. Maybe this is not the right time. There will be some time when you will be ready, you will have better resources, you will have better exposure to people, you'll have better understanding about things in the startup area, maybe on business sides. Try again. Don't give up. I heard it like in the investor summit itself, like there was one investor who said, I don't invest in first time startup founders. I invest in second time startup founders, because I know first time he fell and then he tried to grow up again. So this attempt to rise up again, it is very important. And even if like you do a job, it's not bad. Like this perception, like job kar raha hai, like what is, like I am doing a business of my own. Both of you have different commitments.
Correct.
As I said, for me, my priority is like I become actually successful. For my success, I personally see like I have to have a family life, I have to have my career life, I have to have my passionate areas, hobbies. I have to do something of my own. So if I am able to dedicate time to all of this with a job, then maybe this is not the right time for me to go into business. When I'm able to like give out 1 or 2 areas which I just discussed. Family, of course, I won't give out. Like career, I won't give out. But maybe hobbies or something, I can take it on a back foot for some time. At that point, I could say, okay, now I can probably focus only on job, only on my business or startup. As you initially said, like striking a balance can probably hinder progress.
Yeah.
In some manner, it is true. But if you really know, like how to do it very well, if you say Vikram Sarabhai, if you see probably there are so many examples in like if you even see, I'm not saying like only married men are successful and unmarried are not, but I'm trying to say like married men have got a rhythm to life.
Yeah.
They are more responsible towards life, and you tend to actually be more accountable when you are married because you are answering to someone. It's not I'm not trying to make like any comment on that side of it, but I'm just trying to say like you have a person where you talk, you have a person to open up. So that's what I feel like when you are committed to something. Similarly, startup also asks commitment.
Yeah.
Company also asks commitment. So if you want to test your commitment, probably like see how you're able to handle other responsibilities, learn from your different experiences. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to succeed at like 30 to be under 30 list. It's not like that. McDonald's founder Ray Kroc, like he was not the founder actually, right? But he still at the age of 53, 54 explored McDonald's, and now you see McDonald's.
Yeah.
KFC, very good example.
Yes.
Right? Maybe like there was also a reverse example of Mark Zuckerberg, who in his initial days could do it. So it's not about the timing. Maybe your timing is yet to come. Of course, you have to put in effort to get that time in your time frame. But it is like, if you see statistically, average age of a successful founder in India, can you guess it?
Maybe in 40s.
Yes, it's in 40s. So average age of a successful founder in India is 40. So till then, how can you structure it? One way to do it, I learned it in one of the community events. So this guy was a very experienced guy and he was giving it out. You can initially start with an internship. Then once you pass out of your college, you take a job in a company with like 50 people. Work there for a couple of years. Then go to a company with 200 people. Work there for a couple of years. Then go to a company in 500 people. Then work for 2-3 years and take a leadership position. That's where you grow with the like team size as well, and also with the level of roles, like the hierarchy of roles that you will grow. By the time you reach your 30, you should be in a company with like 10,000 plus employees. There you stay for 5 years because that's a place where you have all the processes defined, everything is sorted, and that's where you have to create an impact. Because in a company of 50, you can create an impact and you will be known by many people.
Yeah.
In a company of 200, many folks would know you, but not as great as how 50 people knew. Ahead in time, 500, not everyone will know you.
Yeah.
So this is how your complexity also increases and your attempt to shine in that whole breed, shine in that whole tribe also enhances. So by the age of 30 or 35, when you are in a company of 10,000 plus, 15,000 plus employees, and when you outshine, and then you try something of your own, just imagine the magnanimity of the resources that you would have, the magnanimity of funds, responsibilities that you had are all sorted. You have funds, you are stable in your life, you have got so many contacts that you can utilize to probably build something of your own. So just imagine a boy coming out of college and trying to build something of his own, and a guy who has worked in industry for 15-20 years and now trying to build something of his own. This is the thing, that this is the line that I'm talking about.
So that's come to one more point, that even if you are not that much successful in your corporate life, still you have passed through many events where you know how things work. And even after 30-35, first of all, you have a stability. Then second thing, you have risk-taking capability also. You have a good amount of corpus. So, and after that, even if you are making a startup, that means you have filtered out many things in your mind. And after that, something is coming. That means that is like 60-70% is going to be successful.
Yes.
So, yes, so that is one difference which I also feel, that a guy, after passing the college and just by watching some episodes of Shark Tank, coming to that I want to make this startup and I want to have this founder tag. He has no risk-taking capability, no money, no connects, nothing. So that makes them very vulnerable, that 90 or 99% startup will fail in that age.
I would just like to add on to this point which you said.
Yeah.
Just visit the Startup India website and see the statistics there. You would see so many startups are registered in India, but the success rate is very low.
Very low, correct.
This is the reason, because there is no maturity in those startups. If I say like, when before going to any investor, to find your first 50 customers, first 30 customers, try your own funds and try it.
Yeah.
When you have someone else's money, your thought process is like, who is gonna like ask me wherever I want to spend, I can spend it. But when you use your own money for the first 20, 30 customers, you know the pain.
You get to learn many things.
Yes.
In anything, like even if take a very simple example, in any course, if you have once put your money, then the learning what you have, that is something very different than any free course. Like we can see in YouTube, there are many things which are free, but not everyone can go and learn and become an editor or become a coder, because that level of patience will never come. So it reminded me a very simple thing in early 2018, when I have no idea about how websites work or how blogs work, but somehow I purchased a domain.
Yeah.
And then I started to learn that how to, implement this domain, how to make blog, how to website. So yes, once money is involved, then your focus is a little bit higher rather than more money is not involved. So it's very important for startups also to put some of your money and then see. And like you rightly mentioned, that paying customers should be there. It should not be like a only problem. That might be a genuine problem and you are solving the problem. But if no one is paying, then you can't survive and can't sustain.
I'll be very honest about this. You can do your free activities once you reach a particular level. For example, CSR. Companies do it when they reach a certain level.
Yes.
Right now, when you yourself are trying to survive, you cannot like help others completely. You can do it in some manner, of course, maybe by providing some resources or something.
Yes.
But just doing it for free and trying to survive just because you have to do this like NGO kind of work, that's not going to sustain. That's not going to help you in the long run. Once you reach certain level, maybe like 100 CR company or something, then you can of course do it. 10 CR company, you can do it. But you yourself are getting funds from someone else and then just putting it in the market to just test something. Testing also needs to be like accurate. It should not just be like you're just trying different models and wasting money. Correct. So that's what matters.
So it's like philosophy is good when you have money.
Actually.
So with you, Shubham, I will also like to highlight one more point that we are already talking about, that is Shark Tank India.
Yeah.
Do you think, see, it has raised awareness amongst the people in our country, but in the same time, out of 3 pitches, 2 pitches are getting funded and 1 is not getting.
Yeah.
So it's showing that 66 or 70% people success. They are not showing the failure part.
Yeah.
So do you think it's also have a bad impact on the society?
See, one thing, as you said, awareness, Shark Tank did very well.
Yeah.
Second thing, so many people like being at their home or on their devices, they're able to learn about these terminologies live with case studies. Like for example, every person who is coming on Shark Tank, it is a case study.
Yeah.
It is a very good thing. But trying to relate yourself with such kind of cases and saying that, okay, we will get funded and we will do this, till a point it's okay, but just need to assess whether you are really capable of doing it. If you just Google how many funded startups from Shark Tank have actually received funds, you would get the ground reality.
Yeah.
Because these guys, when they are showing it on television, of course, they have to like show some drama and all, right? So they try to, of course, like they will show like, okay, we are funding this. But what is the ground reality?
No one is talking about
I would give this as a homework to all of you who are watching this episode, just to be safe on the comment side. Just check out how many funds, like whoever was funded on Shark Tank episodes, how many of them have actually received funds. Because there are so many legal terms involved. Like, of course, whenever they are investing, they will check whether like they are capable of doing the business and all the papers are fine. Only after that, they will give funds.
So it's like both like investors as well as startups, they are just using it as a marketing.
Yeah.
Not only like no one is now after second season, in third season, no one is care about fund. Like they are just coming to and they're getting a free time, air time. And
one of the good television channels, like if it is hosting you even for 4 or 5 minutes on cam,
it's
going on so many devices, it is a very good marketing activity. So that's what people look at nowadays. Even if they get funded or not, that's not the concern at all. Like,
correct.
I'll just, sorry to interrupt. I'll just give you one example. I was at E-Summit at IIT like recently. So I saw that they had specially created a banner saying that we have been on Shark Tank. Even the same thing at, I think, Kalagod Art Festival in Mumbai. They also had done that. It was an arts kind of a like startup, and they had also created this big banner saying that we have been on Shark Tank episode so and so, and this was the number. So it is a good marketing activity, but like honestly, it will not work for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming back to my next question is, see, taking from 0 to 10, 10 to 100 is kind of you can do, but from 100 to 1000 or 1000 to 10,000 is a separate ball game. So when one startup is scaling, from 100 CR to 1000 CR, what all points they should keep in mind as for your experience and advice?
Don't take free advices. Very first thing. Like, there are so many players. When you reach that stage, there are so many players to bring you down, not actually to help you flourish. First thing. Secondly, I feel like try to keep yourself updated with the trends in the industry, because so much is happening every day. Like suddenly stocks rise, they fall. So you need to know what are you actually going for. The target that you see from, like, as you said, 1 to 10 is just 10. 10 to 100 is just 90. 100 to like 1000, it's a very big gap, right? So there you need people who have actually done that before, who have actually flourished, who have actually made those kind of results. If you take an advice from someone who is just doing it in 1 to 10 and you are targeting 100 to 900, like 1000, it's not going to work. You need people who have already crossed 1000, probably they are ahead of 1000 to like something more. Those are the people who are actually your advisors. Those are the people who you should actually target and work with. So try to sit with those people, work out with those people, build a rapport with those people who will help you to grow from what stage you are, rather than just relying on those who are like way behind of what they are currently doing.
So do you think, I have personally experienced it, but still I will ask you, do you think sitting with persons who are, 10x better or 100x better than you actually put an impact on you?
Yeah, like, see, if you are the smartest person in the room, that's a saying, then you're in the wrong crowd.
Correct.
When you feel that the room is smarter than you, then maybe you're in the right crowd, because that's where you will start your
learning, right?
So I think that sums up your question anyways. Like, when you sit with people who are ahead of you, maybe in their financial journeys, in their career journeys, in their family journeys, life journeys, these are the people who will define you, because it is also proven by like so many people, so many studies, that you are some of the 5 people you regularly meet with.
Yeah. One piece of advice which you will like to give your younger self.
To younger self?
Yeah.
I would say probably I could have done a couple of more like additional academic courses and also taken good exposure. One thing, good you asked me this. I could have tried some other city.
Okay.
I just I always have this like bond with Mumbai, so I just stick back to Mumbai. So one piece of advice I would give to my younger self is, if I again get a chance to like redo it, just like how Thanos did it in my like Marvel Endgame, so I would go back and try to do it in some other city, either Bangalore or Delhi or something, so that I would also have pan-India experience. Now I have got experience, but I am sitting here and probably traveling there and doing it. But maybe if I would have stayed a couple of years in some other city and tried my professional journey, the story could have been much more different.
So coming back to, I will say this is a last question which I normally ask to all of the guests. So suppose some graduate is just starting to learn and he also wants to learn about technology, or like you have done, like open source technologies. So tell me 3 actionable points which he can do so that he can reach at the stage in maybe 2 to 3 years, which you took 5 years.
Okay. First thing, write down what you want to do and follow it. Very first actionable point. Whatever you target, maybe you're thinking of doing a course in like 6 months. Maybe you're trying to get an internship in a year from now. Write it down and try to follow that plan.
Okay.
One thing, write down and follow it. Second thing, stay updated. Stay updated, because whatever you are learning in your academics, maybe it is a lot much behind than what is happening every day. Trends are changing, everything is getting updated. So stay updated and actually like try to grasp real knowledge, not just the one that media is showcasing, but actually the real knowledge by researching it on your own. Third thing, try to gain varied experiences and meet with people from different backgrounds of life. Because if you just meet all your CAs, if you are just a CA, you are just meeting CA, like people in CAs, you will have similar kind of problems.
Yes.
But if you meet CA, if you meet an entrepreneur, if you meet a business owner, if you meet a job person, you'll have different set of problems to learn from. You'll have different experiences. And one good thing about meeting so many people is like you grab that rhythm, you understand how to decode people. That's what is about decoding Zindagi.
Okay. Okay. Do you believe in manifestation?
I do.
Any specific, like apart from what you have just mentioned, that writing down the goal, any other thing which you do?
I had targeted to get married in 24, 25. I got married in 20.
No, so in practice, like anything like you write on daily basis, or like many people say that, visualize where you want to go. So that kind of also activity also you do?
In terms of professional side?
Professional, personal, anything it can be.
I had manifested to cross 10,000 followers on LinkedIn, so it is done.
Okay.
So it was like a very good goal for me when I initially started with my LinkedIn journey. And like I personally, like if you see that SSI index on LinkedIn, so I wanted to be in the top 1%. So I currently am in that. So I wanted to do that.
Okay. So Shubham, it was a really nice session with you I think I have learned many things from this podcast. There is someone who has told a quote, I will say that you know what you don't know and you don't know what you know.
Yeah, very true.
So that kind of thing, I think it was a very recent thing, but I can totally relate today that there are so many things which you think you know, but you might not have.
I would just add to this point. When you speak what you know.
Yeah.
When you listen, you learn what you don't know.
Yeah. So it was an amazing podcast with you. Thanks for being in our show. We will definitely like to have you again in future, when maybe the AI will have went to the next level, or you might have published your next book. So all the best for that book.
Thank you.
So viewers, this was it for today. In next episode, we will again come with a new guest which can give you next level of learning. Okay, so stay tuned to our channel and please subscribe it.